Alright, so there is a lot of discussion recently on Bardock. So we do have Tech Dokkan Festival Bardock, next Dokkan Festival on the JP version. He should be releasing, I'm expecting the 31st actually, even though we already have his details, because they don't usually drop the banners during the weekends. And by the time the data download comes out, it'll be too late for it in terms of Japan time, right? Because the data download will be on Friday and he would have to drop Saturday, which isn't going to happen. So the 31st is when he should drop. Now, well, it could be the 30th, our time frame, but 31st. I think it's the 31st though. But regardless, this Dokkan Festival Bardock, there's been a lot of talk about him because I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say it's weird. A lot of people are mixed with this unit in terms of how good he actually is. So at the very least, I wanted to bring up some factual knowledge of his actual numbers, how they look like in game, and on top of that we're going to bring up some offensive numbers. Well, I did say that, offensive and defensive numbers, right? And then on top of that, we're going to bring up some community response, some replies that I've received on my tweet asking people how good they think Bardock is going to be. And honestly, I think that he's still going to be very viable for high-end difficult content. He just seems a little, considering he's right after Gamma 1 and 2, he seems a little undertuned compared to them. So by proxy, he's just going to look worse probably than he actually is to a lot of people. But let's just hop right into it. So I think defensively, it's going to be a really important thing for this guy. I think that I personally prefer defense, so we're going to take a look at that first. I did these myself. So here's him, Link level 10, his defensive abilities. So this is considering all of his links are active, so he's usually going to have to be around a Team Bardock category ally. So this would be his defense stat with the Tora banner unit. So if you guys aren't aware, the Tora banner unit does support this guy by 60% attacking defense. So given that he's fully built up and gets 2 rainbow key spheres, he does sit at around 600k defense before supering, and then after supering is basically 890k defense, which that's not bad. These are so the thing is that these are Gamma 1 levels of defenses, but he doesn't have the damage reduction, which is kind of why I feel like a lot of people are thinking, right? They're looking at this. This is essentially what Gamma 1 does, but Gamma 1 has his 50% damage reduction, while obviously this guy doesn't have any damage reduction. The thing with him is that he has a scouter effect, so at least for the first 5 turns, you're able to see where the super attack is, so you could help prevent him from taking a super attack early on in the fight, which could be helpful for him. He wants to build up over time, right? Because this is him fully built up. Another thing I would say is that basically defense past 600k until around this mark or higher is a little obsolete, because at that point you do pretty much get one shot by these enemy supers. Even Red Zone Broly would do 500k damage to this guy or something, or probably even more than that because of the class advantage, right? Because this guy's a super class unit, so since all the bosses are extreme class, they're gonna hit you harder than if he was an extreme class unit, right? So that's that. Now, I also showed no rainbow key spheres because, well, past turn 5, he doesn't rainbow key sphere change anymore. While you can run units that do rainbow orb change, let's say in the event that you're not able to get 2 rainbow key spheres, which 2 rainbow key spheres give him an additional 50% attacking defense. His numbers do shoot down around, well, pretty dramatically. Post super attack, it goes down over 100k defense, which definitely is a lot. At this point, he's definitely not surviving any red zone boss super attack. Pre-super attack, you're not really going to run him in slot 1, I'd say, unless he's locked or sealed. I think the Tora banner unit, because this banner unit, he has 30% reduction, 30% evasion. He's going to have some pretty high start of turn stats, right, given that you're able to get his full passive activated. So it's not going to be a bad slot 1 unit at all. But with this guy being in slot 2, he is at least able to tank normal attacks from any boss in the game pretty comfortably, no struggles at all. So that's going to be pretty good, is what I want to say. Around 550 to 600k defense is what you need to tank those super attacks, even from bosses that raise their attack during the turn, like the physical Metal Cooler boss. Now this is him without support. So this is without support, fully built up 2 Rainbow Key Spheres. Again, 750k defense post super. You're not gonna run him in slot 1, I feel like. So That's going to be pretty impactful for this guy. Now, let's say he doesn't get any Rainbow Key Spheres. He's still sitting at 620k. And again, that's more than enough to tank normal attacks. I think that's the thing that we should stress about this guy, is that he's not going to be tanking super attacks. And that's the real thing. That's the reason why I feel like he should have kept a scouter after 5 turns. I feel like that's a huge thing, because it's fine. It's fine if this guy doesn't like exactly tank super attacks if you're able to work around it some way. You know, if he was mega offensively based, that'd be pretty good. But if you take a look at his numbers offensive wise, right? He's sitting around 7 million. He can have super effective, and he can do, you know, what's it called? Crits if you get the 3 Rainbow Key Sphere. But that's not really like anything special. We have Gamma 2. This man is doing like 11, 12 million attack stats. 3 of those during the turn with a 50% chance to crit. That's just straight up better than what this guy's doing. We have Kid Goku doing 11 million attack stats. He doesn't have that guaranteed crit ability, but you know, Bardock's, like when he's further into the event, he's not really going to get that either. 3 Rainbow Key Spheres is a lot to ask for, considering he doesn't make them himself. Right, and he doesn't have additionals, right? A lot of these units nowadays are doing additionals, right? Gamma 2, Kid Goku, obviously we have Cooler, LR Vegeta, and Trunks. Like all these like mega top tier units in that range are all doing additionals, and they have crits built in as well. This guy doesn't have that, and his numbers themselves are not really that high. Now this is without support, keep that in mind. With support, these will definitely shoot up. I could see it like 10 million, 11 million, and at that point I definitely will take it. I don't know if anyone has done, actually I could probably, yeah, give me a second. I know someone who did do those with support, I believe. If I just take a look here, the Boring Enerjack did do these calculations for the Bardock, right? And if you take a look here, this is his attack stats. So yeah, this is with, they're being right next to each other. So this is Bardock with Tora, right? You see the 60% support from Tora, right? So he's going to be doing 10 million and 11 million attack stats, right? So if he gets like a basically like 11 million attack stat with a guaranteed crit, that's pretty solid damage. I definitely will take that. But again, you have like these modern, you know, units that are doing damage. Like, well, I guess it's always going to be super effective, right? So that's a difference. But still, another thing is that he wants to build up over time, but he needs to get super attacks. I think, you know, if I just had to say something I would change about this guy before we head into the actual responses, is I would say give him an additional, right? It's nice that it's cool that he's getting the crit with 3 more Rainbow Key Spheres, but he already has a super effective. So get rid of this crit, make this at the very least an additional that has a high chance to become a super. I would say 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, you could probably just make that an additional super attack. And if he had that, he would be able to build up his passive a lot faster. He'd be able to like actually blow through these events a lot faster as well, which would make sure that you can get his scouter, the Rainbow Key Sphere changing, like more early on in sense, right? You'll be able to get to those final bosses earlier on than what you have now, because a Bardock is a unit that builds up over time. So you're still going to take a couple of turns without these built-in additionals to get his full passive built up, which you also have to really consider about that, right? I think these numbers are fine. I just don't think that they're like mega like great. And then this is like within 5 turns, right? So once his like intro runs out, he's doing 9.7 with the 2 Rainbow Key Spheres, right? And if he doesn't get the Rainbow Key Spheres, it just goes down by a significant amount, because that's how it would interact with the support. That's really that though. Well, I wouldn't go down a significant amount, but it would definitely go down to 8.4, as you see right here. So I don't know. Even 8.4 super effective is not like anything crazy nowadays. People are going to be like, what? No, that's good damage, but it's really not. We have units doing way more damage now. And you have to compare this guy to Gamma 1 and 2. Like, Gamma 1 is doing more damage than this guy, but he's also tanking like 3 times better, and he's supporting, and you guys get that point, right? This Bardock doesn't do anything special like supporting or, you know, damage reduction. His scouter is not going to be really useful for long events, but I'm ranting now. let's take a look what other people have to say. I think that's a big part of it. I think I laid down the just general numbers and facts well enough, but let me know what y'all think. Again, I personally would say he's still going to be good, but we'll see. Let's see here. So again, the question is, what do you guys think about Bardock? Let me open up the quotes as well. He's good. Team will be incredible since all Gokus have 200%. That's true. I think one thing to consider is his team is very strong. Goku family Pure Saiyans, that's a dumb leader skill, right? It's going to be very future-proof as well, you know. His Scouter's 5 turns. His team can be very fast-paced. The thing about Bardock is that, again, he's going to be holding the team back in terms of how quick it is because he wants to get 3 of those super attacks off. He doesn't have it one additional, so it's going to take a while to build him up compared to like Gamma 2. You got 2 of them, so you can get an extra turn to the Scouter. That's fair. Like if you're running him as a leader, or you know what would be ideal? Like a Bardock in slot 7, because then you would get the Scouter starting in turn 3. I mean, yeah, turn 3. So you could have that Scouter until turn 8, and that could actually, you know, be useful. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, so this would still activate even if he's off rotation. So you would be able to get it on the rotations even with the Bardock that's, you know, ran out of his passive. So yeah, not best 2 or anything fair. Again, I think he's good, but he's not like anything great. I see a lot of people saying, you know, I see it myself, he's like the resurrection of blues of these like new meta units, and that is kind of true because he's just very basic, right? Guarantee creates a 3 and Monkey Space should have been additional. I agree. Very boring. Oringo Boingo, high stats, you know, most of the time. I mean, this is true. Maverick, I'm sorry, bro, but this is true. He is a very plain design unit. He doesn't really do like anything special because even then, nowadays units, all units do additional stats, right? But man, if the Scouter is the one thing, like that's such a powerful ability, but I think they're a little scared of it. The Scouter should have just been permanent. Like, if they're not gonna give him a little more in terms of his actual stats and stuff. Not as good a Kid Goku, but Type 5 2 Wars. I can see it. That's kind of real, though. I agree. Bardock is very hot. No additional make him build up very slow. I agree. He has to super not attack, right? That's true. Rather summon the Global Halloween banner and you play GP. I mean, dude, Majin Vegeta, I feel like is probably better. So I wouldn't like be like, nah, but let's see what the banner is first at the very least. The banner could be crazy, maybe, who knows. Better than Pan, less than the Gamma's Kid Goku. I want to use it myself first before I give like actual rankings of like, okay, he's here in my personal rankings or something. I feel like Pan is also underrated by the community personally. I think she could have had a little more to her in terms of defense, but you know, she does like do so much damage. It's pretty crazy. Underwhelmed, but only because of recent power creep. Scouter being 5 turns, no additionals. Yeah. Again, something else you can like compare this to is Tech Gogeta, right? Tech Gogeta has the Scouter and then the Q changing for 5 turns, right? Well, the thing is that Tech Gogeta, at the very least, that's turn 4 and forward. So you're going to get it when you need it. Having the Scouters for the first 5 turns, I would honestly argue is almost a little obsolete. Unless you like are able to really rush to the stage very quickly. Because it's like, well, I know where the super attack that's going to hit me for 20k damage is going to be. Awesome, right? You know, who cares? I think it could be good for the Cell Max fight, though. Because that fight, you know, you kind of rush through it. He's alright, disappointed to place him above Ginyu, but just making him around 5. Universal right now, his performance is better than the rest of his DVTR. I don't know, I feel like Ginyu is better. Ginyu just does way more than this guy. And Ginyu's stats are probably higher too, I would say. Just from a brief overlooking at the calculations, right? Mid. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm a meme. I've been memeing, right? You saw my video title. I said father of Raditz. This Bardock is the father of Raditz, bro. Not father of Goku, but I think that he is, again, better than some people may be giving him credit for. Want to see him in the game? Fair. Not a part of the last DPs, but he has value with his lead. Yeah, his lead definitely does have value. Amazing. Scouter and Red Orb changing is lame, but he's still good. Active skills, great. Great numbers offensively. I mean, I wouldn't say he's amazing, but he's definitely very, very runnable. I think people are underrating him overall, but I don't know. Underwhelming. Scouter interest feels wasted. Has enough defense for normals. Seems to because of the restrictions on Tora. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're gonna run this guy with Tora, you can't really run Goku's, or you're incentivized not to run Goku because this guy wants story figures category allies on the team. It's like kind of dumb because this guy is designed to be Bardock's best friend. Oh, that's cool. But Bardock wants. Is there a way I could bring up storied figures easily? Pycon's on storied figures. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. Like, there's no Gokus on this team, right? And you want to run a full storied figures team. That's obviously the Team Bardock thing, and this is Bardock's best friend right now. But if you don't run, how much is this? You want to run 5, right? So I guess you can get away with a Goku or 2 on the team, right? But ideally, you just run the full storied figures team. And obviously this guy, he wants a full Team Bardock category rotation to get the 30% reduction, crit. Like the 10% extra reduction you would lose out by having a Goku on the rotation with this guy. It would be a massive difference. I mean, physical Kid Goku could make up for that, but... I think you guys see where I'm coming from. I would say Path to Power Goku is probably, one of the better units to run there. The thing with running the STR for you to play Bardock is obviously he's not going to link with this guy, so you don't want to put this guy in slot 1. Underwhelming at this point. Should have had a second bounty unit, long additionals. Yeah, I think people are just seeing the same thing here. I think a lot of people do agree, basically, on this guy and how powerful he is. Here's the stats I showed earlier. I think, yeah, we were a combination of Blue Goku and Vegeta. He got bits and pieces. Yeah, he's like similar to them. He's like pieces of Tech Gogeta. But like, it's like kind of the weird pieces, though. Probably put him about 8 going off Truth's tier list. Yeah, the intro scene is gonna be incredible. Yeah, he's not mid. He's gonna be good, but the thing is that I think he's gonna fall off like by the time we get a next power group jump like the Resurrection F Blues do, because at the end of the day he loses his orb changing and the scouter in the parts of the content where he needs that the most, because there's not super battle roadies anymore. These are like 8-9 turn events, right, for the most part, unless you're running like LR Cooler Stream or something. But I'm pretty sure this team is going to not really be like the mega offensive team like Cooler Steam is. Top 4 2-bar, yeah. Okay, confirmation we'll get another Bardock unit. That's true. We need a Bardock putting in the headband from Tora. That's very, very true. Let's see here in the quotes here. In blues. Sexy, I agree. Let's see. The Witcher at 5, physical fascia. Tora. Yeah, I should have been Tora Team Bardock. I don't know why they just named him Tora. This is my... Oh, yeah. I mean, it's alright. Gale. This is what this tweet I put up. I just want to see one more... Yeah, leave the blues out of it now. I just want to see a little more responses, and then we'll wrap things up. This video's... I wanted this video to be like 15. It's already 20, and I didn't even realize. My bad. Oops. Well, it's 19, but you get the point. Getting you pan level power. I agree. Bardock's not a bad slot 3 unit either. I would say Bardock... Dang, I was going to say Bardock could be a good leader. But, like, if you float him off rotation, he's not going to build this up. Dang. If he had the additionals, if he had an additional, he would be a good leader, I would say. Dokkan Goku in his team. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying, like, you could run, like, Tech God Goku, Path to Power Goku, right? And they could actually help out. Also, yeah, I said I doubt it for this, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to have the... Yeah, Bardock's a hype character. I could see him getting another, like, Dokkan Fest with this. Like, an exchange where he actually puts on the bandana. I think that'd be pretty sick. He's better than Panner Ginyu, but you agree. He's really good. Stun, yeah. Like, his super attack, he doesn't, like, seal or stun. If they added, like, a stun or a seal, then you could definitely see more use for him in Super Battle Road. But he doesn't do, like, any debuffs or anything. I think you mean he doesn't think he's better than Panner Ginyu? I don't think he is. Yeah, that is. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this guy overall. I just wanted to do a video covering just the general consensus of this guy before he actually, like, we got, like, the data download reveal. I use them in myself in game for like a week or so and get my final thoughts, but overall, I would still say this guy's probably going to be a skip, especially when he releases on global. Right now in JP, there's like Heroes is coming, superhero stuff is coming out finally as well. There's a lot. So while Z Bardock, I love Z Bardock, my man. I'm probably not going to go much in, like, I'm probably just going to get one copy and dip, but I don't know. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.